AITHA for wanting to have nothing to do with my family to include my children? I 40-year-old female went through a traumatic marriage and divorce filled with verbal and physical abuse and parental alienation. At the same time I dealt with family betrayal financially and emotionally. So to give context, 2 of my family members witnessed one of my ex-husband's assaults on me that I managed to keep secret for years. Afterwards I thought I was finally able to get help and talk to them about it, and one of my sibling response was, "You always so damn dramatic, you act like he beat you every day," and my mom response was, "I think he learned his lesson now. You got those kids to raise and need a man to raise them." I was in shock and couldn't muster a response other than to retreat inside myself and focus on my kids. This was just like when my husband assaulted me in Hawaii and I reported it, and instead of getting help my command, we were both in the military, they began to try and find ways to persecute me, and my MSGT said I was an unfit mother. Story for another time. My soon-to-be ex-husband then began to tell me that if I ever divorced him, he would make the kids hate me, and I later found out that he had been calling my family with all sorts of lies. My life became an unbelievable Lifetime movie mess to say the least. He got orders overseas so that I would be stuck married to him. Meanwhile he had a baby with a Japanese local, proposed to her, posted this all on Facebook. I keep a copy of all the posts and pictures because this is going in a book one day. It's one hell of a story with receipts, and still would not sign divorce papers. You would think the military, the Marines no less, would hold him accountable, but no, they enabled the behavior. Flash forward, one of our children gets sick and he is forced back to the States, which allows me to finally get divorced. When one of my daughters turned 18 they began to demean me and tell me I was crazy like Dad said. I insisted we talk, just sitting in their room trying to talking to them, no shouting. When I realized that this was not working I said I give up. My daughter then said she needed to call her job, and while looking me in my face called the cops and said I'm 18 and my mother has kidnapped me, she is holding me hostage. The cops showed up and took her to live with a family she was planning to live with for some time. Also for context, I was listed in her phone as Satan and her dad as Poppy for years, but I never told her I knew. This is the same daughter that attempted suicide while on the phone with her dad at age 14 and told me to call her dad to find why. When I called him and said she needs you, she's in the hospital, he said, and I quote, "You got it, I don't have time for this." My other daughter at 16 told me I was the one keeping her from her dad. I overheard one of their phone calls where he said I would let you come and stay the summer, but it's your mom. So of course, she took it out on me. Then my siblings started saying you are just jealous because he's married. I had enough. I forced him to let her come and stay by putting him on blast in front of her. I brought her to his house and said, "Hey, I have no problems with her staying with you," with her present, to hear his response. So, he had to let her stay but called me afterwards upset. I was getting attacked from all sides with lies. My mother called and said what type of mother or woman was I? How could I let my daughter stay with some man, and that woman, his wife? Some man, this was her father. Then came the Facebook post from various family members, passive-aggressive, never using my name but everyone knew. Next my son said you are the reason Dad left. I told him he could stay with his father if he liked, but he declined. Little did I know it was because his dad would mistreat him on the few visits they did see him. My baby boy was a different story. He later told my friends that their dad would say I was crazy, and he did not know what to think, and it seemed true because of things he would say, but since becoming adult he now knows different. 3 of my children, it seems as if they only call me when they need something, be it money, to vent about work or handle a situation, because in their words, Dad lies a lot and doesn't come through, he just gaslights. They rarely come to see me or talk to me. I usually check on them, will drop everything for their emergencies, yet they accept all his flaws and lies knowingly and visit him often. If I make any sort of mistake or am unable to help, I am crucified, and when I say did you ask your dad for help, they just say well you know how he is. At this point I just feel uncomfortable around them, like it's a forced relationship, and usually after a visit they tell their dad about what I have going on. My family, in particular my sister, if we have an argument or I won't bend to their will, call my ex to talk trash about me. I'm going to stop here because this is a lot. But damn, we have been divorced since 2010. When does this trash stop? Like and follow for more.